Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I know we just recently did a Kia Telluride. You know, I haven't done one since probably late 2019 or early 2020, so two in just a few days. Well, it is what it is. But I wanted to talk about why you should buy a Kia Telluride if you're in the market for a mid-size SUV like this. These are very sharp vehicles. This one is available at Hebert's Town & Country here in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's a 2021 model. But there's not a lot of major differences between the 21s and the 22s. Let's talk about what you'll find cosmetically that's going to be different between the 2 years. On the 22, you will find the updated Kia logo and the updated front grille. Other than that, this is identical to what you're going to get. Interior-wise and feature-wise, you will find the advanced driver safety and technology features standard on all trim levels, as is the 10.25-inch touchscreen and dual zone climate control. So other than that, this is what you're going to get. Let's talk about the features and the functionality that make this an SUV worth buying. Those are 245/50 tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels. And I just really have to say, I don't know that a Telluride would look as good without black wheels. Power folding side view mirrors, very nice. Going to have the turn signal indicator built in right here. And you're going to have some chrome in addition to the black rims and the dark exterior color. Going to have that chrome wrapped around the windows right there. And on the lower door sills, also on the top of the door handles, really just balanced perfectly. Now let's talk about functionality as we open the hood and see what you're going to find there. Under the hood is the 3.8-liter V6. This is a naturally aspirated motor, but it still comes in with 291 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 262, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And MPGs with that 291 horsepower and the size of this SUV, 20 miles per gallon city, 26 out on the highway, 23 combined. And according to Kia, for every 100 miles you drive, you should use 4.3 gallons of gas. What about 0 to 60? Well, it's a non-neck snapping 7.2 seconds. Based on the fact that I review these cars for a living here on YouTube, I must say, I'm always impressed when I see something that's just different. I like the overall design of these rear taillights. I think Kia has done a very good job, just the way the lines flow. They look really solid. And as you can see, obviously this is the SX trim level. And as we hit this power rear door and open that up, let's talk a little bit about cargo capacity and towing. Towing first. Up to 5,000 pounds, that's impressive for an SUV of this size, not bad at all. And depending on how you have things set up here, obviously you can lower these rear seats. The numbers for cargo capacity range between 21 cubic feet all the way up to a maximized 87. Let's take a look here at how you maximize your cargo space. You're going to just lower these seats. And I've only done one side, but you can get the idea of what you have here. And while we're here, let's take a quick look. You've got the dual sunroofs here. As far as the rear sunroof right there, which is quite a bit larger than the conventional size in the front, but still, I think that offers a lot of great viewing opportunities for the rear seat passengers. Really, they're going to have the best view if you're sitting in that rear area. And one other feature I want to show here before we move into the interior, what if you say to yourself, that rear door is too high for me? Well, there is a solution to that. Okay, let's change the height of the door. You're just going to lower it down. If this is better for you, you bring it down to this position and you hold the button down until you hear it beep. So we'll wait. Okay, so now we're going to close that and let you see how this works. So now that it's closed, show you how simple it is to change the setting on the height of this door. As you can see, now it opens up to where I set it just a few seconds ago. Just a nice little convenience that you're getting on these Tellurides. Okay, what you're going to notice here is that I changed the position. The seat on the passenger side is all the way back, but you can actually move these. There's a lever on the front. They're manually adjustable. It can slide back and forth. This isn't all the way up, but just so you can kind of see what's there. So let's hop into the rear seat area, and I can show you exactly how much space I have based on where that was set. Now, this may not be as much space as I would like, but there's definitely a lot more than there would be on the other side. So there are some adjustments and capabilities for changing that sort of thing. And over here on the passenger side, just like we'll find over here on the driver's side of the rear seat area, you'll find the cup holders and the USB port. And let's take a look at what rear and middle seat passengers will be greeted by when they hop in. You've got the door bins right here for storage for the middle seat passengers, quite a bit of space there. And to move the seats back and forth, this is a button that can be used as well as the button on the top. You saw me use that earlier right there. And when it comes to storage, well, you've got a little bit back here on the rear of the seats, kind of in the way of a map pocket. Got the cup holders right there and the 12-volt power outlet. Now you might say, oh man, no air conditioning vents. Well, they're not on the rear of the console. They're actually overhead right here. So as you can see, there is that, and there are the adjustments right there. So you have tri-zone climate control here in the Telluride. And taking a look in through the passenger side door for the front seat, what do we have here? A very large door bin. So if you want that larger door bin as a passenger, better call Shotgun. And then you'll notice that you have the controls for the door locks, power windows, and then obviously some trim right here. A very nice look, actually has a very nice feel to it as well. Doesn't feel cheap. And then we'll take a quick look into the glove box. Power seats for the driver and passenger. And right here, you're going to find heated and ventilated seats for driver and passenger. Also, a very nice feature, not only comfortable, but obviously very well adjustable, depending on how everybody wants to ride. And just a quick look at the remote. Most of the functionality found right here on the side, with the exception of the remote start feature. And I like the fact that here you don't have to push it twice and hold it on the second push. You just hold that down and it does its thing. And then, I did talk about it earlier, I think I did at least, but if not, I'm talking about it now. There are those power folding side view mirrors. So we'll go ahead and hop inside and take a look at exactly what you'll be greeted by. We'll hit the push button start and let you hear the chime that you're going to hear when you hop inside. A very nice looking instrument cluster, got a lot of adjustability, different features you can go through right there. Yeah, you can see we're low on fuel. And as often as I like to kid around about people not using their blinkers, I tell you what, if you own one of these Tellurides, you want to use your blinkers. Here's why. Because you have the cameras on the side that show you what's in your blind spot when you turn the blinkers on. There's the driver's side, obviously there's the passenger side. I like that feature. That is really cool. And then easy to figure out, you've got your steering wheel mounted controls here, everything to control the windshield wiper and all the functionality of that on the front and rear windows on the right hand side of the steering wheel. And here is the 10.25-inch touchscreen. I mentioned earlier that this is now a standard feature on the 2022 Tellurides, but you still find it here on this 2021 model. One of my favorite features, obviously. And then what about the backup camera? Let's take a quick look at exactly how that looks. You not only have the backup camera, the trajectory lines, you also have the 360-degree view overhead camera. There's a lot of great features and functionality here. A lot of usability. It's just so easy to use that I just can't imagine people out there who say, man, I'm afraid of that technology. I don't want to buy a new vehicle. Don't worry, you'll have no trouble learning this. Very clear image, by the way. And some one-touch buttons right here. Probably don't need to tell you exactly what all that is because you can see it on the screen right now. And of course the knobs for controlling the radio right here, volume and changing the station. And then dual zone climate control. I talked about it earlier, how you have the heated and ventilated seats, heated to the top, and down there on the bottom you'll see the ventilated seat option. And then you actually have the ability to conceal. Let's see if I can get that to open. There we go. Conceal away what you have right here with connectivity, 12-volt USB, and another power outlet right there, another USB outlet right there. Also, here is your wireless charging pad for those who are not fans of push-button shifters. Good news, you don't have that here. And your mode selector, your driving mode selector. Let's take a look at exactly what you have, where all of that is concerned. We'll just run through exactly what you have. You've got Smart, Eco, Comfort, and Sport. So Very nice options to have there depending on what your situation is. And then some of the buttons right here, you can turn the auto stop start feature off. You've got the power parking brake, and then you have auto hold, which is really called brake hold a lot of the time in other vehicles. You come to a complete stop when that is activated, and once you come to a complete stop, you can take your foot off the brake and the vehicle won't move. Brakes are locked in place. That makes it easy, especially if you're in a lot of stop and go traffic. And let's take a look at exactly what we have here with the center console. You can remove the tray right here if you want to, and then you can see what you have down in there. Actually quite a bit of space. Probably a little hard to tell how deep that is because it's a little bit dark down there. Okay, on the road with the Telluride for a quick test drive. The Telluride has a very smooth ride. The leather-wrapped steering wheel is nice and comfortable, and I like the overall adjustability of the driver's seat. Now, I couldn't really tell you how it is to sit anywhere else in the vehicle, so we'll just have to rely on those of you who have experience in the passenger seats in the Tellurides to tell us down in the comments. But as I turn on my blinker, I always use my blinkers, and it's especially fun to do here in the Telluride because of those cameras that show you what's in your blind spot. That's just a nice feature. I really like that. But when it comes to just the overall usability, the Telluride has a very smooth, enjoyable ride. Good acceleration. You might think that the horsepower under the hood is not quite enough at 291. Well, don't forget, you do have those multiple driving modes, including Sport, which we're in right now. And I'm going to hit the start-stop button. Actually, you know what? Since we're low on gas, I'm going to do something a little out of the ordinary and actually use the start-stop feature to save a little bit of fuel. All right, we're going to take off here in the Telluride and just cruising down the road in Sport mode. I'm going to tell you something. You might think 291 horsepower is not enough. The get up and go is pretty impressive, and for me to say that says a lot because I am a high performance enthusiast. I've driven race cars that can go 0 to 60 in well less than 1 second, and so for me to be impressed with the acceleration of a vehicle says something. So overall, I must say the Telluride is one of the most well-balanced vehicles on the road when it comes to just the overall capabilities. It has good performance, it looks good, it drives very, very well. It has good capabilities for everyday use as far as cargo capacity, as far as towing capabilities, and great technology that is not difficult to learn or use, especially if you're somebody who has never had this kind of technology before. Overall, the Telluride definitely ranks high. We've never really done our favorite SUV video, at least not yet, but I guarantee you if we did, you'd find out that the Telluride would be one of the front runners, might be #1. So tell me down in the comments if you plan to buy a Kia Telluride. You're going to buy a brand new or a used model, and what trim level, what exterior color. Tell me what your desires are. I have to say a special thanks to my friends here at Hebert's Town & Country for loaning me this model for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click on another of the videos that is on the screen right now, and I will see you there.